Just before the new season started, disaster struck. We just lost our starting goalkeeper and one of our biggest stars. But instead of falling apart, this squad somehow got even stronger. But once the football started, nobody could stop us. This Aberdeen team had become a monster. Welcome back to the Sir Alex Ferguson Aberdeen Challenge here on Super Sammy Plays. Last year we dominated Scottish football, and this year we'll be looking to do the same thing all over again. But after a disappointing exit in Europe, that has to be our main focus this season, as we look to prove that we can compete with the biggest teams on the continent. After losing a couple of important players early on, we dive back into the transfer market and make two huge signings to re-strengthen the squad. So let's get into it. And we start off at the window as Al Nassr identifying our goalkeeper Vitek as a potential target for what I thought was relatively low at 5.25 million, but you'll find out why that is later on. And we've got a couple of contract situations to sort out. Our youngster Alfie Babbage has left the club, but in terms of big names, who are Sanchez, Keskinen, and Redondo, and even the youngster Prenk Pelage, all their contracts all expiring in 12 months, so that is something that we had to get done pretty quickly. So we have had two offers made for the goalkeeper, Radek Vitek. We signed him for 650k, if you remember. So it would be a massive profit, but I still think 5 million is pretty low. But in a second, you will see why it is 5 million. Turns out he's got a minimum fee release clause of 5.25 million, which I didn't realise. So it looks like we are destined to lose him. And somebody else that is looking likely to be going is Leon Bailey. If you remember, we signed him on a free transfer. And at 31 years old, we got an offer of 8 million. And I thought, you know what? It's more money than we get as a transfer budget every summer. And I just thought, we've already got really good wingers in Cavallio and Diaby and Keskinen. I'm kind of okay with this. And making an 8 million profit is pretty good going. Meanwhile, we did wrap up those contracts with Prenk Pelage, Keskinen and Auer all signing new deals. And Al Nassr do eventually make an offer as well. And I think that's who all the clubs are waiting for, to be honest. I think they're probably one of the biggest clubs in Saudi. And Vitek does eventually sign for Al Nassr. As he's now on £215,000 a week. So you can certainly see why he wanted to go there. Still not worth a lot, though. Just still 10 to 14 million, which is quite surprising. But we do already have, obviously, Charles as well. So it's not like it's a massive loss. We've still got a first choice goalkeeper. And we did sell Bailey as well for that 8 million. So that is 8 million profit once all of those clauses are met. We spent some of that money on a youngster in Andres Hernandez. And he doesn't look anything special by any means. But you will notice from the personality type, he is model citizen. And obviously that 5-star potential, he's certainly one for the future. And he could potentially be an absolute superstar for us in a few years' time. So we'll see how he gets on. Obviously 16 determination as well is also good. But for now, he is going to be mainly playing for the under-19s just to get some game time. We do rise up the rankings after our performance in Europe. Just 4 places though. So we still are down in 49th place, which is pretty rubbish, to be honest. I thought we would have risen a little bit more than that after 2 consecutive years in the Champions League, but it is what it is. But good to see our youngster Prenk Pelage claiming the best player at the Euros Under-21s tournament. And it's good to see that he's improving. He's still got a lot of work to do on those technicals, but the rest of his stats are looking pretty decent. We went on to spend some more money on another youngster in this guy, Michael Funk, for 4.4 million. And again, technicals don't look great, but those physicals are absolutely insane for an 18-year-old. Like 4 pink stats there. Pace and balance are both on the verge of being pink as well. So, yeah, he could be really good for us in a few years' time as well. And before you know it, we are back to our first game of the season, and it was against Ross County, this one. No qualifiers this season after winning the league, which is great for us. And we get off to a great start as well after we score after 1 minute. Morgan Gibbs-White with a good finish there. We then added a second. Morgan Gibbs-White involved again as he pulls it across to Marcus Leonardo, who gets his first goal of the season to make it 2-0 in the opening 5 minutes. And then, yeah, I'm not sure what Jimenez is doing here at 2-0 up. Opening day fixture, 24 minutes in. What that challenge is all about is absolutely beyond me. But it didn't make a difference. We were just far too strong for Ross County as Sato pulls it back for Renato Sanchez and he makes it 3. And yeah, we were absolutely cooking. And when things are going your way, they are certainly going your way as we give a penalty away for Ross County in the 50th minute. But Charles stepping up, proving we didn't need Vitek and making the save to keep the scoreline at 3-0. We then added another in the 53rd minute. Our left back Kamara scoring an absolute worldie. And yeah, what a finish that was. And definitely worth another look as Gibbs-White gets another assist. I mean, actually, no, he doesn't. Sato gets the assist. But what a finish this was. I was going to say it wasn't about the assist anyway, because what a finish that is. Unbelievable from the left back. And we do go on to win the first game of the season 4-0. And I would imagine probably top of the table. So, Gibbs-White getting us off to a fly with a goal and an assist in his first game. And I just wanted to have a little check. He does have a release clause of 20 million. So, it is going to take a big bid to come and take him off our hands. And after offering Cullen out, I decided it was worth getting another big striker in. And we found another one on the scrap heap pile from Saudi. This guy been released. No, they hadn't renewed his contract after a big money move to Al Hilal a few years ago. He's certainly one that we will be looking at trying to bring in. And then this guy as well, Ofer Levi, from Maccabi Tel Aviv, another 19-year-old, but wanted by Man United. We made an offer for him, just 3.3 million. I thought it was very much worth it as he's got some very nice stats. And we're starting off the season, our second game, with one of our biggest matches as we played Rangers. But we absolutely dominated them. Vernblad getting us off to a great start, scoring inside 11 minutes after rounding the goalkeeper. And then we added another just 6 minutes later as Diaby gives it to Ralston. He plays in Morgan Gibbs-White and he gets another assist as Marcos Leonardo gets another goal. And those two have certainly started off the season very strongly. We go close in the 22nd minute with Vernblad shooting from range, but unfortunately for us, just over. Before we did eventually score again on the 34th minute. Sato finding Leonardo, who bangs it in the back of the net, but unfortunately it was given offside and yeah, a yard or so offside, so correct decision. We do score again though in the 39th minute, so just a couple of minutes later as Leonardo with a great finish, getting his second goal of the game and a Diaby assist, making it 3-0 before Rangers do actually pull one back themselves. And a great ball in behind to Asgard, pulling it across, and that's a great ball to Nadiri, who gets one back and makes it 3-1. I told you, every time we play Rangers, Asgard does something against us. And then, I'm not sure what happened here, but someone decided to launch Nadiri over and give them a penalty. But Charles makes another save, and we go on to win 3-1. And that's 2 penalty saves for Charles now in 2 games. So Leonardo getting the praise after that one, after 2 goals. And yeah, he's certainly started the season off very strongly. After, you might remember last season, we had to have a conversation with him because he wasn't scoring enough goals. That is certainly looking very much in the past now. And this might spur him on to keep scoring even more as we have signed Mohamed Meite on a free transfer. And as you can see, he's very highly rated amongst the staff at the club. And you can certainly see why. He's got some very nice stats. And an 18 to 20 mil transfer value. I think that is also based on a release clause of around the same sort of figure as well. So that'll be why that value is what it is. And Meite does get our first start for the club as we play Kilmarnock in the League Cup just a few days later. And yeah, you'll see a few rotated players in this one as Keskinen pulls it back for Redondo as he puts us 1-0 up. Obviously, those two are both getting a start alongside Mitchell, Frame, Anderson in goal, Ralston at right back. Who else? That's pretty much it. The rest of the players play pretty much every match. Martin Vernblad, obviously one of the youngsters, but certainly one of our most promising players. He put us 2-0 up before Morgan Gibbs-White came off the bench to add a third. And that is how the game finished as we comfortably qualified for the next round after a nice 3-0 win. And like I mentioned, we did offer Cullen out, and we didn't recoup the money that we paid for him, but we do get 950k back, which is not too bad as he goes to Heerenveen. And obviously, we have already signed Mate as his replacement. And we did also sign Ofer Levi as well for that 3.3 million. And another player with 5-star potential. Certainly one for the future, but he is currently capable of making an impact at the moment. And C from the board is pretty funny considering the money that we've paid for him. 3.3 million is basically nothing when you look at his stats. He certainly could be a really special player in a few years' time. But back to the league matches now, and we do play Falkirk, and we do start back with Marcus Leonardo up front in this one. And it looks like we actually go down 1-0 early on in the 15th minute, but thankfully, comfortably offside, and Markandale a little bit late with the pass. And then you know what happens after a poor mistake from the goalkeeper, dropping the ball back to Leonardo. He's not going to miss in the current form. And then, we get a penalty inside 31 minutes, as I'm not entirely sure what it was for. Apparently it was a foul, apparently it was harsh, but it makes no difference. And Leonardo bangs it in the back of the net to make it 2 before he adds his third in the 34th minute, wrapping up his hat-trick nice and early. And then it's Vernblad's turn. We absolutely cooked in this match. Martin Vernblad as well, 4-0. For Diaby scores an absolute screamer, bending it in from range to make it 4-0. And then, Falkirk probably scored the best goal of the game, and I was on the tactics screen, which is why we're only getting the replay. He scored from absolute miles out to make it 5-1. They did threaten at actually making a comeback as Aaron Connolly scored another goal, but again, comfortably offside. So easy decision for the officials to rule it out before Markandale does eventually pull another one back for Falkirk, making it 5-2. And they looked like they'd actually pulled another one back, but again, another offside. I think that's the third one this match. This one very, very tight. But like I say, the scoreline finishes with that goal ruled out as we win 5-2. So we went and offered some more contracts out as well. Obviously, Sanchez running out in the summer. I did also tie down Vernblad and Jimenez as they've both been really good for us. So I've signed them down to longer term deals. And if you remember, we got an F for signing Vernblad for 6 million, and he's now worth 16.5 to 19.5 million at 19 years old, and he's still looking very good for us. Sanchez signing a 2-year extension. Obviously, 32 years old. He's certainly one of our older players, but he's still someone who can do a job for us. And we're still waiting on a work permit for the Jimenez deal. Unsurprisingly, Marcus Leonardo does get the Player of the Month award after scoring 6 goals and getting 3 assists in the opening 3 matches. That's very unsurprising as he has certainly been brilliant for us, and long may it continue. Hopefully we don't have to have any more conversations about goal scoring from him. And we do get that contract tied down with Jimenez as he signs a new 5-year deal, and 21 to 24 million valued at now, so it's not just me that seems to rate him. And this might be our attacking lineup going forward for this season. Obviously, we've still got Vernblad being a youngster, but Leonardo and Mate, if they can hit it off together, they could score an absolute ton of goals. And Leonardo picks up another one as he puts us 1-0 up early on in this game before, in the 33rd minute, Jimenez going past his man, playing it back to Diaby, and he gets another goal to make it 2-0. Into the second half though now, and Diaby playing it inside to Morgan Gibbs-White. He cuts inside and scores a great finish to make it 3-0. And we are absolutely destroying anyone you put in front of us at the moment, as we added another in the 62nd minute. Jimenez to Diaby down the right, pulling it across, and Leonardo was there to get his second goal of the game. So we go in to win 4-0, and another 2 goals for Marcos Leonardo. And then there was this. I thought I'd have one last check on the last day of the transfer window to see if anyone was available. And this man was available. I couldn't believe it. Now, I know he is not the biggest and the most fanciest name, but I thought How have we managed to get someone on a free who's just left Manchester City? This guy obviously was signed in real life as a replacement for Rodri after obviously his really bad injury, and he probably hasn't quite shown it in real life. But he's certainly a very good player, and he could be an absolute superstar for us on this save. So, that late addition of Nico Gonzalez feels absolutely massive. He might not be the biggest name or the most glamorous signing, but I genuinely think he could go on to be a massive player for us going forward. Not to mention that he's another free transfer. But you're going to have to wait for the next episode to see how he gets on. If you've enjoyed the video, do me a favour, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.